Hello, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Morel Brown. I am the eighth of 10 children of Alberta Gaylord. Currently, I am single. I have three godchildren. As a servant leader, I am a minister, speaker trainer, workshop facilitator, a certified life coach, and Amazon's number one best-selling author. As a steward of and CEO of Morel Brown Incorporated, we have a consulting and training business. I exist to empower individuals and corporations to use their abilities to achieve maximum impact, personally and professionally. Tonight, I want to talk about the the spirit of man, the mind, and the body. When I am coaching and I'm talking to my clients, or I'm preparing a sermon to share, or I'm on Blog Talk Radio, my company, myself, my passion is always to come from a holistic, meaning approach, which means this: looking at the total domains, area of development of every human being, that we are a spirit, we live in a body, and we have a mind. So I like to focus in on the frameworks, or the wheel of life, which is relationships, your relationship to God, self, children, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and also your relationship with your friends, and what we call life balance. There's educational, there's personal growth, there's spiritual growth, there's the emotional health, as I talked about before, which is the soulish part of man, which is the thinking. It's the feeling, it's the intellect, it's the volition, it's your free will. And then there's also the physical, which is part of the mind's health perspective. There's also family, marriage, whether it's common law or, or true marriage in a sense. And then there's fun and leisure, and there's finance, which has to do with your money, the economy, investment, savings, and career. So tonight, what I want to focus on and hone into is the emotional health and well-being. Of course, and I want to talk about the seven stages of grief. I will not cover them specifically and so deeply, just touching the surface. According to Elizabeth Kolber-Ross, a psychiatrist, most people experience several of the seven stages of grief. Right now, we know currently there is over 500,000 people who have lost from this diabolical disease of coronavirus. And then there are other family members, friends, and strangers that is passing away from other sicknesses. And therefore, I just believe that it's important that we understand the stages of grief. There is one, shock; two, denial; three, anger; four, bargaining; five is depression, and six is testing, and the final is seven. It doesn't mean that everyone is going to go through all of these stages at the same time and in the order, but it just means you will experience it. The thing about grief is you can experience grief even when there's a loss of a job, or a divorce, or a separation, or when a child decides they no longer want to be a part of the family. That you feel some of the same stages: shock, denial, anger, where you're bargaining, you're trying to work out things. And I just believe that it's important for me to share my story with you. When I begin to think about this particular topic, what came to mind is my first memory of grief. I remember my precious Aunt Neither. She passed when I was around 12, 13 years old. And I remember one morning, we're standing in the park and we're playing handball around where she used to live on University Avenue in the Bronx. And then at the evening, I guess between 5 and 6 p.m., we're sitting, with our family, mourning the death of my aunt. And they begin to sing the song Precious Memories. And until today, I get very emotional when I hear that song. And when I was thinking about grief, didn't really understand it, didn't really know how to process it. And then as I got older, in terms of losing several siblings, I lost three brothers, but the one I'll talk about specifically is my first brother out of the three, Sid Brown. It was he was the next to the oldest, and it was actually like 10 years later that he passed from when my aunt passed, and actually May 31st. She passed May 31st, 1976. He passed May 31st, 1986. And so that was just strange. And you begin to hear the family talk about what it could be and how it sound, and are we cursed or anything like that. But what I'm learning is with Sid's death, Sid and Byron, which Byron eventually passed a year later, they were in a hospital at the same time. And it was hard to process because I was supporting my sister-in-law, especially when it came down to my older brother Byron, who was a father figure to me. It was more of being strong, being that administrator to help take care of, at that time, before Sid passed, to make sure things was okay. And with my family, making sure that my mother was okay, making sure I was going up to the hospital. And so it was just a very tough time. And when he passed, I went through a shock because, one minute we thought he was going to come home from the hospital, and he ended up having a stroke. And then, of course, the brain damage and everything else. And the doctors were saying to my older brother, who was in a hospital, as I said, at the same time, to have my mother, give them permission, to unplug the respirator. And thank God we didn't have to make that decision. And to all those who are listening to me, that's a very challenging, call for another human being to make that call and say, take their loved ones off the respirator. But I just want you to know that, I understand what that's like. And we didn't have to do it. My brother passed away after 8 days. And so I went through the stages, of being shocked and denying, like, my God, I can't believe that he's actually passed away. And then you go into this part where there was really no bargaining. There was no time to really doing the bargaining, but it was like, well, maybe, because he was pretty much very quiet. He wasn't one that'll just be talking. He was more of an introvert. But I just said, wow, his final days, we begin to really talk. And so I guess that would be part of my bargaining. And so I'm not going to go through all of the stages, but I'll just say to you, I actually got stuck because I didn't know what I know today. And that's why I am passionate about sharing and talking. And if you're going through grief right now, or if and it can be either from losing a loved one or loss of a job, or going through a divorce or separation, definitely give me a call at 862-205-9077. My passion is coaching, according to best practices, and allowing you to feel so that you can heal, and to take you through the processes and a framework of holistic healing, and in a very therapeutic manner. You can visit my website for additional services at www.morellbrown, that's incorporated at the end.com. And my name is spelled M as in Morel, OREALE, Brown, INC.com. Again, this is Morel Brown from Morel Brown Incorporated, and we just believe that we can help you to use your abilities to achieve maximum impact. If you want to become an author, we can help you become an author in 4 to 5 months. We can help you in coaching, mentoring, workshop facilitation, training. Give me a call. We want to partner with you. Remember, God bless you, and get ready to maximize. I look forward to you connecting with us. Bye bye now.